Hi. So good morning. We're on lesson 13 with the Course in Miracles, and this is a Course in Miracles. If you're wondering what a Course in Miracles is, after 13 days of my blabbering about it, and this is my book. And I am what it says I am, and I can do what it says I can do. And what it says I am, what it says we are, is that we are innocent. That's like the most important thing to get. If you can get that, get it. Get that you are innocent, that you are so innocent, that, the powers that be, the God, the Holy Spirit, higher power, inner teacher, whatever the freak you want to call it, loves you unconditionally, and that it sees you as totally innocent. It's good news, babe. So, thanks for watching my channel, and I have really been enjoying doing this, and I know I've said that before, but I have. So, and I wanted to give a shout out to two people who have said that they like watching, and I told them that I'd put their name in lights. Karen, thanks for watching, and Kelly Robertus, who is so freaking funny. I love her, and she makes me laugh, and laughter is so awesome. Laughter is, Course in Miracles says that all separation happens when the Son of God remembers not to laugh, and so to connect with our unity, when you laugh with somebody, it's like so unifying, like we connect with each other in laughter, and so it's so good to laugh. So the lesson, so if you like laughing and if you like this channel, go ahead and subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm asking you to do me a favor. So this lesson is about recognizing what is meaningless, lesson 13. And it steps into this thought reversal system, that we start to reverse our thinking, the thinking of the world of like fear and separation and conviction and crucifixion and all that. And it starts to reverse it. And we've been told from the previous lessons that our minds are actually blank, right? It's hard to accept, but we're just going to go with that theory that our minds are blank. And that we don't see this because we're afraid of this space. We're afraid of space, actually. So we want to rush in before we can recognize that our minds are blank. And we just want to write upon it. We want to tell it a story. We want to tell it a story that we're comfortable with. And usually it's a story of vindication and crucifixion. That's what it usually is. And this rushing in and this reaction and this manipulating and this making up of things holds up a defense between us and God, basically. And it holds up our grievances, and holding up these grievances and rushing in and manipulating and making up this story and defending is so exhausting. It's so exhausting, and yet that's what we do all the time. And not only is it exhausting for our mind, but it's actually exhausting for our nervous system. All of this thinking, like we could let it go and be so much more peaceful. But we fear God, so that's why we do it. We fear God. Excuse me. I have this goiter on my neck that I've just kind of I've had it for a little while, and I'm going to get it removed. But I have this goiter on my neck, and I think it's causing me problems. I'm totally out of the box this morning. But goiters are very doable. So whatever they are, I think I might come back with a little slit in my neck and have it removed or whatever, but no worries. So anyway, we are going to, we're going to stop competing with God today. We're going to stop arm wrestling with God, because the truth is we always lose. I mean, we just find ourselves back on our knees being like, God, help me, and so why not get there the easy way instead of the hard way? And getting there the easy way is by practicing these lessons. So, because we ain't going to win that arm wrestle, I'm telling you that right now. You know it and I know it. And still it's so hard to give it up. But if we're willing to see, today, to lay the slate clean, to have the Holy Spirit write upon it what it will, to just receive this version of the Holy Spirit story, which is always so much better than our story. I promise you that. And there's a place within you that knows that when we sit back and we let the Holy Spirit write the story upon our page, for each day or each moment, to reinterpret everything in the way that it would have us see it. It's so much more beautiful, so much more delightful, so much more funnier, so much more happier than anything I could make up on my own. So if you've noticed recently, working these lessons, that some shifts are happening, in your life and that it feels good, that's awesome. And that some places there might be shifts and some places there might be slips, right? So we can slip, we can go, oh my, I'm doing so well and I'm really like, I'm getting to see my brother as myself and I'm moving into freedom and forgiveness and happiness and this is so great. And then all of a sudden somebody pushes our button and we're like, fuck! Okay, lesson 13 and I've cursed for the first time. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for me. We're like, damn, So when we slip, we don't want to jump on our backs and be like, oh man, I'm never going to get this. Because that's the ego again. We just want to say, whoopsie, you just slipped. Like, look, well, whoopsie, I just cursed. It's no big thing. It's no big deal. Whoopsie, I just fell into envy. Whoopsie, I just fell into resentment or crucifixion. Whoopsie, it's no big deal. And think about it like when a baby's just learning to walk and it's going to fall a lot, okay? But you're not going to stand over the baby and go, what the fuck, get up. You're going to say, whoops-a-daisy, baby, just get up. It's all good. You're just learning to walk, sweetheart. And you don't have to judge yourself. So before I curse anymore today, I'm going to go into the lesson. A meaningless world engenders fear. Today's idea is really another form of the preceding one, except that it's more specific as to the emotions aroused. Usually, a meaningless world is Actually, a meaningless world is impossible. Nothing without meaning exists. However, it does not follow that you will not think that you perceive something that has no meaning. On the contrary, you will be particularly likely to think that you do perceive it. Recognition of meaninglessness arouses intense anxiety in all the separated ones. It represents a situation in which God and the ego challenge each other as to whose meaning is to be written on the empty space which meaningless provides. The ego rushes in frantically to establish its own idea, fearful that the void may otherwise be used to demonstrate its own unreality. And on this alone is it correct. So the ego rushes in because it knows that if it doesn't rush right in and start to make shit up, that the Holy Spirit's going to have its way. And in the Holy Spirit, light of the Holy Spirit, there's no ego. There's only love. So of course the ego has to rush in and write what it will, what its little will have this day be, as opposed to that of the Holy Spirit. So the exercise for today, which should be done about 3 or 4 times for not more than a minute or so at most each time, are to be practiced in a somewhat different way from the preceding ones. With eyes closed, repeat today's idea to yourself. I am looking at a meaningless world. And then open your eyes and look about you slowly, saying, I am looking at a meaningless world. I am looking at a meaningless world. Repeat the statement to yourself as you look about, and then close your eyes and conclude with, a meaningless world engenders fear because I think I'm competing with God. You may find it difficult to avoid resistance in one form or another. To this concluding statement, whatever form such resistances may take, remind yourself that you are really afraid of such a thought because of the vengeance of the enemy. You are not expected to believe the statement at this point and will probably try to dismiss it as preposterous. Note carefully, however, any sign of overt or covert fear which it may arouse. This is our first attempt at stating an explicit cause and effect relationship of a kind which you are very inexperienced in recognizing. Do not dwell on the concluding statement and try not even to think about it except during the exercise period. This will suffice at present. So it's just, again, it's just an exercise. It's like we don't have to figure it out. Our mind's going to be like, what does that mean? I don't understand. This is meaning to me, and this has meaning to me, and this has meaning to me. But instead of going into all of the trying to figure it out, just be with it. Just be with it. Just say, excuse me. Just say, that a meaningless world engenders fear. And so I'm seeing a meaningless world here. And maybe it can be reinterpreted in my willingness to just be with it. So, thank you for joining me in my rambling to this morning. And Will's not in the background, but hey, I got my ukulele. I got a ukulele, and I'm learning how to play it. If you've ever wanted to learn an instrument, I hear the ukulele is the easiest. That's a C. That's an A. That's a C again. That's all I got. That's all I know so far. Maybe next time I'll be able to play a real song. Okay, God bless. Have a great day.